51. Leases are basically classified into 4 categories. They are as follows except A. Estate at suffrage, B. Estate for years, C. Periodic tenancy, D. Estate at will. Correct answer is A. Most authorities classify leases into 4 categories based on the lease term: estate for years, estate from period to period, periodic tenancy, estate at will, and estate at sufferance. 52. When there is a commission rebate to the buyer in the transaction, this fact must be disclosed by the A. Agent to the seller who has paid the commission, B. Lender who has serviced the loan, C. Escrow officer who is doing the impound account, D. None of the above. Correct answer is A. The payment of a portion of a commission by a licensee to a principal in the transaction does not constitute a violation, but if there is a commission rebate to the buyer in the transaction, that fact must be disclosed by the agent to the seller who has paid the commission. 53. A seasoned broker, who has 30 exclusive listings, dies of a heart attack. Her only heir, her son, who is also a broker, takes over for her. With regards to the decedent's listings, the heir should do one of the following: A. Inform Calbury that the son is the new broker of records, B. Inform the sellers that the son is taking over as broker, C. The son must renegotiate all the listings, D. Just do nothing. Correct answer is C, because listing agreements are between the seller and the broker and thus, or personal service contracts, they terminate at the death of either the seller or the broker. Here, the only possible solution is for the son to try to renegotiate the listings with the sellers. 54. A lessee has a 2-year lease with a lessor of an apartment building. By the end of year 1 of the lease, the lessee is temporarily moving to another town. There is no mention of the lessee's ability to sublease or assign the lease. In this situation, the lessee may assign but not sublease the apartment, B. Sublease but not assign the apartment, C. Ask for the lessor's permission to sublease or assign the lease, D. Sublease or assign the apartment without asking for the lessor's permission. Correct answer is D. When there is no mention of the lessee's ability to sublease or assign the lease, the lessee may sublease or assign the apartment without asking for the lessor's permission. 55. The Government National Mortgage Association, otherwise known as Ginnie Mae, is an agency of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD. Ginnie Mae's activities include A. Management and liquidation functions, B. Special assistance functions, C. Mortgage-backed securities program, D. All of the above. Correct answer is D. The Government National Mortgage Association, GNMA, is an agency of HUD which operates in the secondary mortgage market. It is commonly known as Ginnie Mae. It has 3 major activities that include mortgage-backed securities (MBS) program, special assistance functions, and management and liquidation functions. 56. Home ownership under the Veterans Administration allows qualified buyers to buy a property with blank down payment. 1.5%, B 3.5%, C 0, D 2.5%. Correct answer is C. The government agency that aids with home ownership is the Veterans Administration, which guarantees home loans made to qualified military veterans. A VA loan is a type of loan that allows qualified buyers to buy a property without any down payment. 57. Once a borrower has completely paid off his CalVet loan, the California Department of Veterans Affairs issues a blank to transfer legal title to the borrower. A trust deed, B. Quitclaim deed, C. Warranty deed, D. Grant deed. Correct answer is D. CalVet uses a contract of sale as the financing instrument for their loans. Once a loan is paid in full, CalVet issues a grant deed to transfer legal title to the veteran. 58. The cancellation of a contract and restoration of the parties to the positions they would have taken if no contract had ever been formed is known as A. Retention, B. Recession, C. Rescission, D. Restriction. Correct answer is C. Rescission is the abrogation of a contract and restoration of the parties to the same position they held before the contract was entered into. 59. Broker Mary has a listing agreement for a certain property. Agent Robert, who works for Broker Izzy, got an offer. Agent Fernie, who works for Broker Mary, got the offer accepted. The commission goes to A. Agent Robert, B. Broker Izzy, C. Broker Mary, D. Agent Fernie. Correct answer is C. A listing agreement, usually referred to as the exclusive right to sell listing agreement, is where the listing agent has full control of the transaction. Whether the seller, the listing agent, or a cooperating selling agent finds a buyer, the listing agent earns the commission. When another cooperating agent is involved, the commission is usually split between the agents. 60. Agent Dan proposed to rebate part of his commission to buyer Ed if buyer Ed would raise his offer to be acceptable to seller Frank. In this situation, Agent Dan A owes a duty of confidentiality only to buyer Ed regarding this information. B has no duty to disclose this information to seller Frank. C must disclose this information to seller Frank before seller Frank accepts buyer Ed's offer. D none of the above. Correct answer is C. A situation regarding a commission rebate to a buyer in a real estate transaction must be disclosed by the agent to the seller who is paying the commission. 61. A real estate agent, who represents a buyer, is a buyer's agent unless the agent has already entered into an agency agreement with both the buyer and the seller. B. Sub-agency agreement with the seller's agent. C. Agency agreement with the seller. D. All of the above. Correct answer is D. A real estate agent, who performs real estate brokerage services for a buyer, is a buyer's agent unless the agent has entered into a written agency agreement with the seller, thereby making the agent a seller's agent, a sub-agency agreement with the seller's agent, thereby making the agent a seller's agent, a written agency agreement with both parties, thereby making the agent a dual agent. 62. A power of attorney terminates when the principal is incapacitated. B. When revoked by the principal. C. Upon the death of the principal. D. All of the above. Correct answer is D. A power of attorney can be terminated in any of the following ways: when the principal is declared incompetent or incapacitated and a guardian is appointed to handle the principal's affairs, when the power of attorney is revoked by the principal, when the principal dies. 63. Husband Victor and wife Wendy are buying their first house. They ask their broker how they should take title to the property. Their broker should say, as joint tenants. B. As community property. C. As community property with right of survivorship. D. Consult a lawyer. Correct answer is D. Advising people on how to hold title of real property is considered unauthorized practice of law if given by a person who is not member of the State Bar of California. 64. Bella, Bob, David, and Mike are joint tenants. If Mike dies, Belle, Bob, and David A become tenants in common. B will still be joint tenants. C become tenants in common with Mike's heirs. D none of the above. Correct answer is B. The right of survivorship specifies that upon death of one joint tenant, the rest of the property automatically transfers in equal part to the surviving joint tenants. 65 blank is the acronym for the 5 tests to find out if things that were once personal property have become fixtures as Naria, B. Maria, C. Laria, D. Raria. Correct answer is B. There are 5 tests of a fixture with an acronym Maria: method of attachment, adaptability of item, relationship of parties, intention of parties, agreement of parties. 66. Bundle of rights to property ownership does not include the right of police power, B. to use and enjoy, C. to possession and disposition, D. to lease and encumber. Correct answer is A police power represents the right of the government to enact order, safety, health, morals and general welfare laws and regulations for the good of its communities, is not included among the bundle of rights to property ownership. 67. The deadline for filing a homeowner's exemption claim for full exemption with the county assessor is A. January 1, B. March 15, C. May 1, D. February 15. Correct answer is D. To receive 100% of the allowable exemption, a homeowner must file an exemption claim form with the county assessor's office by February 15. If the exemption claim is filed between February 16 and December 10, a partial homeowner's exemption will be approved. 68. Delivery of a deed means the blank of ownership in real property from one person to another. A transfer, B. Conveyance, C. Both, and B. D. Neither, nor B. Correct answer is C. In principle, delivery of a deed is the transfer or conveyance of title in real property from one person to another. 69. Property tax year begins on July 1 and ends on the next June 30. The first semi-annual installment becomes delinquent if not paid by A. December 10, B. February 10, C. April 10, D. June 10. Correct answer is A. The property tax year starts on July 1 and ends the following June 30. The property tax year is based on a fiscal year, rather than a calendar year. The first semi-annual installment for half of the annual property tax is due on November 1 and becomes delinquent if not paid by December 10. 70. Unclaimed property following the intestate passing of a property owner in California. The state will claim ownership following blank if no heirs are located. A 3 years, B. 5 years, C. 7 years, D. 90 days. Correct answer is B. The state of California can claim ownership of a property after a period of 5 years, if no heirs are recognized, when a property owner has died without a will. 71. All of the following are causes of economic obsolescence, except national factors, B. Regional factors, C. Local factors, D. None of the above. Correct answer is D. Economic obsolescence is a loss in property value caused by factors external to the property. It can be caused by national factors such as when a recession decreases property values. It can be caused by regional factors such as problems encountered by particular industries. It can be caused by local factors such as a neighborhood experiencing a decline. 72. An industrial plant is being built close to an affluent residential neighborhood. Houses in such neighborhoods may eventually lose value. This is an example of an economic obsolescence. B. External obsolescence. C. Environmental obsolescence. D. All of the above. Correct answer is D. Economic obsolescence is a loss in property value caused by factors external to the property. It can be caused by national factors such as when a recession decreases property values. It can be caused by regional factors such as problems encountered by particular industries. It can be caused by local factors such as a neighborhood experiencing a decline. 73. An income approach to value is based on the principle of A. Participation, B. Anticipation, C. Amortization, D. Speculation. Correct answer is B. According to the principle of anticipation, value is formed through anticipated future benefits to be determined from the property. 74. In the real estate appraisal process, value is defined as A. Legal tender for property ownership, B. Present worth of rights to future benefits of property ownership, C. Bartered securities for property ownership, D. None of the above. Correct answer is B. Real estate appraising is the process of forming an opinion of value of a property on a particular date. In such context, value is described as the present worth of rights to future benefits of property ownership. 75. The seller is obligated to provide the buyer with a TDS which the buyer then has days after hand delivery of the document, or days after mailing of the document to review and cancel the agreement if it contains adverse information not acceptable to the buyer. A 3, 5, B 3, 7, C 3, 9, D 3, 15. Correct answer is A. Part 2, paragraph 13 of the deposit receipt obligates the seller to provide the buyer with a real property transfer disclosure form. The buyer then has 3 days after hand delivery of the documents or 5 days after mailing of the documents to review it and cancel the agreement if it contains some adverse information unacceptable to the buyer.